So if I select the application types, we can show the various types of product types that we can support in the marketplace. Application is a hosted application, of course. Mini apps are what's considered updates to existing applications or smaller based apps. Consulting services, web services with no integration billing, think of that just as a referral, and then web services with integration billing, or access keys as another approach to a download. For example, you want to download an installation, and then you have an application access key. We can facilitate that type as well. So they're all pretty similar in setup. So we'll focus on the integrated billing because this is the most interesting one, I think, in terms of for you as a potential partner of Etelos to get started. We'll hit the create button, and it brings me into a wizard process that allows me to create this information. So you'll see the My Store basic info, licenses, and a lot of information that's on the left-hand side. And these are all the forms basically that you fill out. So I'm not going to spend time filling out all these forms. I think you get the general idea. But the fun one here is the license one. This is what we're all interested in, right? Is to make money. So I'm going to go ahead and add a license here, and scroll down here so you can see that. And it's basically there's only one install type because of the integrated billing approach. We give this a name, so this is subscription that we want to give it, and then we give it a billing short name that would show up in the report, and a description that shows up in the listing. Billing description. This is a monthly fee that we want to put together. A license version. This is about how what type of contract is presented, and you have facilities to put in your own. In this case, we're doing a per account model, so you can have multiple users. You can also pick trial license or trial periods. So let's say we wanted a 15-day trial period, and we can go ahead and start going into the next phase of what we want to configure here. Billing type, this is monthly reoccurring. You'll notice there's annual or retail as other choices, and then we want to put in the most important number is the price, $19.95 a month. Click the next. Then in this case, because this is a web services with integrated billing, we're going to be sending you information about what someone has purchased here. So you may need a product ID. This is your ID that you would want us to send to you, and then the status, of course, is on, and we're going to go ahead and create that. And now we have that subscription. That's a new marketplace or a new license or subscription type that's supported in the marketplace. So it's very, very easy to configure this. If it was hosted, you just basically say it's hosted, and there's a few other choices like what do initial users cost, and if you want to add users, and there's a number of other different choices that you would add in terms of that. Depending on for example, if we're managing that for you, or we're hosting the application, we can license by usage model, or we can license by monthly fees, or however that was going to work for you. So it's fairly flexible in terms of those kinds of models and putting those things together. So let's continue going on. If you have questions on we call it advanced licensing. We have facilities for that as well, which is user management and those types of things. So let's go on to the tools. In terms of various tools to help build this image. One of the key ones is that I've got let's see, we're doing the banner here. I've got, I need to upload images to make this thing look good, so let's click banner here, and we'll open that. And this brings you into an editor that allows me to configure that banner for how it displays on the screen. Demo, I have the right size. We'll hit save on that, and we want to do the same thing for the product thumbnail. This is also what shows up in your marketplace listing, so it's a fairly important image that you want to put together. And let's go down here, and I have the thumb image. And again, I have this editor that allows me to configure that image to the right size. I can make it smaller or larger to fit the space needed. We'll go ahead and click Save on that, and it's pretty easy to upload these images and manage these images as part of your marketplace listing. Referral website, you can put in categories. If we don't have the category you want, we can add these. Let's put that as Salesforce automation, and maybe we want to put another one that's Salesforce productivity as part of our categories in terms of putting these things together. I also have a way to put in larger images, etc. Another interesting option here is what type of rating is it? This is one of the icons that shows up in your marketplace listing, and if it's a straight install and they don't have to do anything, we always say on-demand install. If it requires heavy customization or something else, we have those options as well, and we'll click there to say allow users to set quantity in their shopping cart. So in terms of putting these things together, it's pretty simple to put these things together. I can add keywords for searches and things like that, and we'll go ahead and save our changes as part of that listing. So it's pretty easy to start setting up that basic information. Let me do a couple more screens, and we'll be getting toward the Q&A session of this. So we did the licensing and the basic product info. I can go through the wizard and hit next, or I can go to the appropriate page that I want to go to. In this case, this is the marketing information, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on the WYSIWYG editor. This is all HTML, so it's standard HTML. You can refer to links off of your site, fairly flexible in terms of what you can put on this form. I'm going to go ahead and paste some text I had already created. Thought I had created. There we go. So it's pretty simple, cut and paste that kind of thing in. We're going to save the changes at this point, and you'll see you'll see that the HTML in the background there is part of that. I can go ahead and almost any time as I'm building this listing, I can preview it. So as I click the preview button, you'll see what we've been entering as part of that, right? So we can see that we have the webinar CRM. This is cool, CRM. The icons, right? Consolidated billing. This is a third-party app hosted by Etelos. So we see those icons change. You see the icon that we loaded up here. And then, of course, this is the subscription listing that we added as part of that purchasing option. So you can go ahead and you can also share these links with other users to preview and go through a approval process as part of your organization if you have those types of things. We're going to go ahead and close that. And we would go ahead and just continue on with filling out these forms. There's a features page, for example. You want to get into more detail about what the product is about and its features and functionalities and those types of things. Let's go ahead and we can add that as well. And then you're going to continue to go through the process in terms of setting up this information and putting it all together and bringing it in as part of your applications. We'll just cut and paste that same text in there. Last thing you want to see is watch me type. So it's pretty simple in putting these things together. I'm going to click on a couple more real quickly. The demos pages, very cool. This is where you can upload your screenshots or your videos, whether it's a flash or a movie type, and your screenshots, as well as you can add additional HTML to talk about demos and how your